Welcome back. This is Crimey Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, this is where we have fun with words and numbers. And the purpose for this is to see how we can use these numbers and be conscious of their use or presence in our lives and see how we can optimize their vibration to become better versions and expressions of who we truly are. So, been working with the number 9 and 5. Of course, 9 encapsulates all the numbers. We must say this, although it does mean beginning, or it's the beginning of a cycle, it's the beginning of a baby's life, you could say. My mother has delivered, and it's a new beginning, it's a new era. Now there is no longer just pregnant mother, there is mother and child. Okay, so 9 in a sense is giving the impression of newness. Although for new, we have got 5 here, but this is where we see it's the functions of 9 and how they act or how they play out in our lives is what we are trying to see. How we can use 5, for instance, how we can understand 5. Of course, we hear a lot about 5 and that we are 5. We derive, scripturally speaking, now because this is hinged on sacrifice, this is hinged on the Bible. This is why I am now thinking that it's very important to see how the scriptures have shaped our lives and how we can make sense of that, how it's impacted our lives. Basically, 5 denotes is in direct correlation with the word Eve, meaning I say Mother Eve right here, and 5 is also in direct correlation with the word Christ. Okay, so if we say Jesus Christ, Jesus is 11, 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 plus 5 would be 7. So we can see how 7 is also in essence um, who we are in numerical values or as in creation, because God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested from all the work that he had made. So basically, we are not only that creation or creative species that was made, but we also encapsulate the day of rest. Hence why we have to rest, I suppose. Yeah, because everything is that seed form within us that we learn of ourselves and become expressions of God in essence. Okay, so I'm looking at the number 9 and the number 5. So let's look at 5. 5, when I speak of 5, I really think of Mother Eve, which is another representation of Mother Eve here. And of course, if you're wondering, this is Father Adam in the back. And he's not really meant to be in the back as such. Perhaps yes. But basically, this we are working on is to give us an understanding or allow ourselves the understanding of who we truly are, where we are coming from the feminine divine, from that feminine nurturing and giving and healing and all of those elements that is so necessary for us to reconnect with, and hence why Father Adam is in the back. Okay, so there I was looking at the word mouth, of course, because mouth equals 5. And in case you are new to this um, numerology, let's just quickly do the numerical value for mouth. This is Mother Eve's mouth. Now here I had this revelation, because we deal with the word revelation, and I'd like to say revelation come forth, just use the word. Or water is so emotional sometimes. I have to be careful that I don't get, spilled, because water works. Water works. That's interesting. Waterworks. Okay. It works through our emotions. Water is emotion. And perhaps when we are thinking of, oh, that we are feeling emotional, we need to really acknowledge that is what we are. And the emotions, of course, is in motion. Mother Eve is in motion. Here. Of course, we're supposed to be doing mouth, but let's do emotion. Motion. But it's E for Eve, is emotion. That's what it's about. That's where Eve was the one who ate of the fruit. She saw that it was good. That saw perhaps was cutting it in half as well. So if there was good, of course, there had to be bad somewhere, someplace. Sometimes it is true that you can get a good fruit from a tree and a bad one from the same tree. So some people are saying, oh, you can't get that. You do. Okay. I'm a farm girl. I know. Okay. So back to mouth. To mouth. To mouth. Back to mouth. That is very self-explanatory. I won't expound on that. It's that when we use the word to, it actually really means figuratively, not just figuratively. It actually means to. Okay, so mouth, Mouth. This is 8, 2, 3, 6, 4. When we add this together, 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 3, 13 and 6, 19 and 4 is 23. 23. 2 plus 3, like we have here. We are well connected here. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and that's Mother Eve. So I have done a series of presentations on the word breathe as well. So going back to Mother Eve, Eve is here in this position here. This is where Eve is. This is where Christ is. And you could imagine that 5 is the middle number, and you could imagine it being like a pyramid. So 5 would be here, and we have 1 to 4 on this side, and 1 to 4, 6 to 9 would be on the other side. So basically, we could say that we would have 4 here, and 9 here, and 5 here. And of course, if we add this all up, of course, it's still 9. So that's just a representation. Just put this a bit closer so you can see. Okay. Now, back to mouth. So mouth, I was just figuring on one of the presentations I did in this series, that mouth, the amount of things we do with our mouths. Of course, we drink with our mouths. We breathe with our mouths. We suck with our mouths. This is one of the first things that we learn to do. We suck on our thumbs. Okay, just thinking of the word thumb as well. Why it would be like thumbs up. So that's another thing. This is a very primary connection that we are associating with when we say to one thumbs up, or you see the sign somewhere and it goes like this. That means that whoever's using this has a very primitive connection with your sensory awareness, which we may not be aware of consciously or subconsciously, because that's what we knew. Every baby would suck on their thumb at some stage, from the womb, the fingers, the hands. Whenever we are talking about this, it's hands and mouth. Okay, so we suck. Then we say, oh, that sucks, as if it was such a bad thing. But we are connecting. This is where we need to be very careful about the language we use and how we use it. Okay, so here we would have, and you have the you here, you see. Okay, all right, we have the you see in the middle. Okay, and we usually say, ugh, meaning as if something sucks, it's bad. Right in the middle, the words are all connected. So here we have 4 and 3 would be 7 and 2 would be 9. So we see the word suck here is connecting on a vibration of the wholeness of who we are right here. So when we use the word suck, because suck equals 9, it connects with that which connects, which is also love, which is whole, which is beginning, and there is so much more with 9, of course, which is the hand, which is the head, which is feet or foot, perhaps it's foot, for 9. So we need to be mindful when we use these words, what vibration or activation, what are we activating within us? Okay. And are we doing this in the way that we really intend to? So the word breathe equals 5. If we do this here, this is 2, 9, BRE, 5, 1, 2, 8, 5. And if we add these together, so 8 plus 5 is 13, and 13 and 3 is 16, and 5 is 21, and 9 is 30, and 2, 32. So breathe is 32. When we add 3 plus 2 is 5. So this is what we are talking about, 5 and 9. This is what we do with our mouth. When we breathe, of course, through our nostrils or mouth, when we breathe, we are on that vibration. We are in the middle here. Our eye is open. Here, we are elevated because breath is life. In fact, when we look at the word breathe, it has in it, in the middle, let's do this. In the middle of breathe is EAT. Now that would also constitute what God had done or with Adam and Eve when he breathed in their nostrils. He breathed in their nostrils, but food was there. So naturally, when Eve ate of the apple, she is connecting with her inner core of something that had been deposited, just for reference, because Mother Eve is Mother Eve. But there is this part, and hence, in my argument of this story as well, hence the reason why the commandment was not given to Eve not to eat of the fruit of the garden. It was given to Adam. Here, of course, God breathed in Adam's nostril hair, but the word eat, the hair, because Mother Eve had this power, if you like, there was movement, and when God saw the face of the deep, there was movement there. When two things connect, if you see something, that means there is a relationship with you and that thing, and that's what is here. That breathing, there was something there already. Okay, but just for the story, or just to make sense of all of this, the word eat Of course, ate is at, the past tense is also there. And we see it fits right in the middle. Three letters. And these three letters equal number 8. Eat, ate, yes, right here in the middle. So this is where, of course, if you are standing in the middle, you are firm. It's like being centered. It's like being grounded. It's like holding yourself. You are firm. Nothing can throw you. Okay, so we have the word eat, we have the word sing. Again, in accordance with some of the one of the presentations I did, the word in is in the middle of the word sing. Of course, in the beginning. In is a very, very powerful word. It is the 9, it has the numerical value of 9. In is 9 and N is 5. When we add these together, we get 14. When we add 1 plus 4, we get 5. That gives us 5. And 5 is Eve. 5 is Christ. 5 is the 5-pointed star. 5 is our 5 senses. Of course, it is when we have learned to master the art of all those 5 senses, we know that we have to open the third eye. It is merging all those together that we are able to create. We can't, for instance, when I had my Kundalini experience, of course, I knew what sensations was happening in my mouth. I was paying attention and observing what was happening in my body, the sensations on my spinal cord, the pain that I was going through, um, the energy on top of my head, the vibration that I was feeling. So basically, of course, and before you do that, you have to be very mindful to make sure that you are eating a healthy diet. You can't go doing this, having meat and pork chops and all of those things. So basically, you are occupied with your 5 senses before you can gain the experience of having your third eye open. Okay, so there we have, so here we are talking about in the beginning. So we see how 5 is pinnacle right here. It's the pinnacle. It's the pentagram. It's our 5 senses, our 5 fingers, our 5 toes. It's the 5 holes right here on your face, or circles rather, your 5 circles right here as well. So when someone just sees you, they see 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, and your mouth. There are 5 circles right there. Well, it's more than that, but okay. And on the ends, of course, we have G and S, which is the G is 7, the S is 1, and that means that's 8. Which takes us back into this 8, the mouth. It's reflective of the mouth. That's where we sing. And the sound, of course, is very profound. Here we yawn. I like this. I'm thinking it should be yam. Yam, like yam. Of course, I don't know why I'm thinking. Of course, I'm thinking food. We have yam, which is YAM, but of course, with the 9 meaning hour, we could just buffy more yams, Okay, let's do this. This is 10 and 7. This is 17 and 5 is 22. So 22, that yarn, hey, 22 is denoting the water, the feminine again. Of course, this is where 22 comes here. 2 plus 2 is 4. And we also get 4 here in this B section, but I have done different presentations on that, which I won't go into right now. Now, the word taste. So we yawn through our mouths, yes, before I go into taste. And just seeing OAR, okay, I was just seeing what other words could come out of this. Okay, not feeling too overly enthusiastic on trying to. It's YARN. Okay, we'll leave this one on a question mark for now. But we have the word taste, of course. With taste, we have tea. This is what I mean about all the words. Derivatives of our functions, and that's why they impact on our being so much. If we go back to breathe, we have the word eat, we have the word TEA, we have the word heart, HEART. Of course, if we have the word heart, we also have the word earth, EARTH. We have the word brat, of course. So all those words are derivative. The endless, we could get endless words here. The brat in the word breathe. Rat in the word breathe. I have done a list of words on that as well. We have hair, you can hear someone breathe. It's in the word of breathe. You can, the air, this is a sense. So basically, in the word breathe, we have air, we can hear. So it's very connected with our breath, um, with our sound, with our being audible. When something's audible, you can hear when someone breathes. And when someone breathes or there is that sound, of course, it connects with your heartbeat. It can connect with the heart because the word heart is here as well. It's a direct connection. And it's very close and very similar to taste, apart from the fact that there is not the S in the word breathe. Of course, you could say someone breathes, but or the word, but here we have S, and S plays a function like the letter W, which also acts as an E or M or three. Okay, all right, three, E, okay. So there we are. We could have T or somewhere, or T's, or of course it's taste, and as, something as is as, so the word taste is telling you the state of something. Okay, so I just thought I would cover these with the word mouth, and this is on 2321. So we are talking about 2 plus 3 is 5. So let's conclude on this one, and thank you for watching. Thank you for your contributions. In, of course, I am counting on you to share and subscribe and leave your comments. I would love to hear them. Thank you. Okay, and because we are planting new seeds. Namaste. Spill over with love.